And welcome to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is Stephen Compian, joined here by my co-host, Corey Compian. Sir, how are you today?
Doing a fantastic. How are you doing on this fine Monday evening, Stephen?
Kicking ass and taking names. You know how it goes. We had yet another lovely week of Major League Rugby, XFL, NFL rumors, Six Nations. Corey, it was an action-packed weekend, as I like to put it. I even got to go see some of these Chicago Hounds losing in person. So it's been quite a splendid, glamorous weekend even. Yours truly, Corey, was even busy doing some Costa Rica football-like maneuvers. Is this correct, Corey?
This is true, Stephen.
This is true, what they're saying about you out there?
So this is week 2 against the Saints.
Don't be like that. All right, cool. Here we go. Bam.
We are the team in black. That's me right there.
Black golden helmet.
Ball. Yep. With the forearm sleeves. I see. I'm looking a little confused.
Oh, hey, no, stop that. Never mind.
And then Frendo showed up. Funny thing about this play is that dude 56 getting up there. He posted to his Instagram like he had done shit where like 14 get stiff armed, I make the tackle, and then we all kind of get involved with it. But both of those other two dudes posted this play like, look, I played football. I was involved in the play. Like, so right there, he gets stiff armed. Yeah. I wrapped the guy up, and then they're just kind of part of it. But I just thought it was funny that they.
I thought it was a good gang tackle. I think that was good to continue
team involved.
For sure. But yeah, that is funny that they were the first ones to post it right away. So once again, we see long, lengthy Corey here on the edge. Oh, go get the ball. Oh, you got it. Oh, you got the ball. Fuck yeah.
So me and Frankie, a friend of the show, we had much debate over this because we lost this game 12-0.
Oh.
And I was thinking, like, we're right, like, that's the 20 where I recover that. And
yeah,
our offense has, like, maybe 5 first downs on the season. So we're definitely not like we're gonna get the ball in the 20 and score kind of team. So I was like, if I had just scooped that up, that quarterback, he's actually a mercenary paid from the States by the Saints to come play, and that's why they're doing really well. That dude did not seem interested in scooping that up. There was a running back kind of confused off to my right. In the moment, I was just like, ball on the floor, scoop up the ball.
You guys are paying somebody to come down from the States and play football? What?
Dude, we tried to pay a guy, but his mom got cancer, so he didn't show up.
What?
But yeah, like, so the Saints, they paid this quarterback and a fullback, and dude, that fullback.
How much did they pay him?
I don't know how much the things are, but like I saw, like it's known around the league who the mercenaries are. Like the Tigers have 2. I think they have 2, and the Saints have 2.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, sports growing, I guess. But their fullback sucked, man. He pancaked me. Like on one, I do my contain, the quarterback bounces back in, and like the fullback and the running back who were both coming out to block, they kind of like bump into each other, like, I don't know what they were doing, and both hit me at the same time. I'm like, oh fuck! I'm on my sideline, so I really don't want to get pancaked. So I'm like trying to get to my feet, and I feel the dude just like clip my shoulder, like going down, trying to get on top of me. I'm like, no, I refuse. I must get out of this. But yeah, that game in particular was really rough. That put us we lost the first game against the Lions, like, I don't know, 50-something-0. We lost to the Saints there, 12-0, which really they just beat us on 2 plays.
Hang on, we have one more play left loaded there. Let's see what happened.
The 3 plays I got stickers for.
So let's see. We got one more play here.
So I'm on the far side of this play. You see, again, black sleeves over there for this tallest dude on the field at most times.
Yeah, we see you.
You see the booty stance. Now, this is, unfortunately, I still wasn't super sure what I was doing. Like, I was just kind of taking a receiver stance because, so you see the runs to this side, that DN misses it, and I'm like, oh, you're alone in the backfield? Let's hang out, buddy. And then I tackle him for like 10-yard loss.
Beautiful.
Huge drive killer for them, especially since we were on like R10 or 20 at that point.
Yes, man. It's huge.
Yeah. But so I'm like literally learning how to play DN in these games because I've never played DN before, and we don't have enough linemen show up to like, have a line. So they're like, "Oh yeah, you also play tight end. Just run routes." So every practice, I just run routes, and in the last 3 games, I've received exactly 1 pass, which
Let's
I mean exactly
go!
1 catch, but So during the games, I mostly block, which again we never practice because we don't have line, and I play DN, which there's no one to go up against. So yeah, it's been lit, bro.
Fuck yeah,
Nicholas is
dude.
calling me. Gonna have to not answer that. Sorry, my boy Nicholas.
He has also called me during the podcast. It's like he has a keen sense of when they're being
Yeah,
filmed.
that's for the podcast.
Yeah, he's getting a sense for it.
But yeah, so we lost to the Saints 12-0. Very #sad. This most recent week, yesterday, we lost to the Tigers 6-0, which our defense did phenomenal. We held them on like R10, I want to say twice, because our offense was so bad, we couldn't move the ball or punt effectively.
Nice.
The first 2 punts we fumbled and gave them the ball on like R10 and on R15. We stopped them both times. One of the times we stopped them on our like 2-yard line. Like they were literally
this
like
is last week?
goal line. This was yesterday.
Oh wow.
This was yesterday against the Tigers. So we stop them on like our like 2-yard line. We give the ball to our offense. We have 2 tackles for loss, and then fumble in the end zone, and they score. We hold them on the extra point. This is all in the first quarter, and then for the rest of the game, we just cannot score. They finally, in the second half, put me in at tight end, but just as a blocking tight end, because God forbid we throw the ball to the guy who like catches the ball. Let's throw it to the
Tall,
5-foot
athletic
dudes who
looking.
drop the ball.
Right.
They throw me exactly 1 pass.
Yeah.
I break a tackle, go headfirst into like 3 dudes, fight for more yards. We get a first down. Terrific. Quickly go back to what doesn't work and turn over on downs.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah. And what was really frustrating is I spent the entire second half out on the field. I wasn't super sure what was going on at the sideline. I was mostly just trying to catch my breath between plays because I was playing tight end and DN at this point. We'll recapping the game with Mom. She told me that at some point our coaches just kind of gave up and just started smoking on the sideline. So it's like, oh, good. I'm glad when we're at a 1-point game, you fucking assholes are over there smoking while I'm out here, literally bleeding for you guys. Good. Glad this is what's happening.
Were they like smoking weed or like cigarettes?
Weed. So that's what brings us to my nose, where this dude literally tried to gouge my eye out, which was fun.
What?
You always want to go up against a clean team when you're losing, You don't want to lose to a respectful team. You want them to try to gouge your eyes out while you're losing, because that's just better, Steven.
Is that true?
Anyways, so in theory, the Tigers were the worst team in the league. They were last year, and we lost to them. Therefore, we are now the proud owners of the title of worst team in the league. But our team is still patting themselves on the back for, the handful of tackles they made and, how they had a good game personally and stuff. Oh, we're the worst team in the league now. Maybe we should be upset. They're just like, nah, man, I had a really good game. I'm super happy about how that went. It's like, oh, you guys are fucking idiots. So I've pretty much... We're out of the playoffs at this point. So I'm just like, fuck it, whatever, man. I'm going to wing it for the rest of the season.
I'm sorry to hear that, Corey. But I am also happy to hear that you're just going to play for funsies, because that is what football at this level is all about. And it is your final season. So, you got to go out with a blaze of glory.
Very positive way to start the podcast, I know. But,
absolutely.
Since this game happened yesterday, I am slightly... It's fresh, it's a fresh wound.
Understandable. That is what we're here to do on Sports by Podcast. I mean, by Compian, cover sports that people may or may not care about in a way that is meaningful and excellent. But what we did cover here in person was the Chicago Hounds taking on the Toronto Arrows. Corey, as you can see here by the score, Hounds lost by 1 point, man. Should have won this game, multiple chances, much like last weekend.
Steven, are showing the Discord screen and not your browser screen.
Well, I came back here, but I was showing this before. Seen it now? Oh, yeah.
Sure am not. No.
Okay. Well, now I'm doing it wrong. Oh, yeah. That is true. All right. Alright, cool. Here we go.
There
So
it is.
anyway, so yeah, Chicago Hounds, 1 point to the goddamn Arrows. Fucking ridiculous, Corey. This game was super back and forth. Hounds got an early field goal. Toronto finds a way to get into the try zone off of a couple passes. I think I have that one loaded up here, actually. Let's see here. Yep, sure do. You seen this still?
Oh, nice dish.
Yep.
Into the hands of Richardson.
Beautiful little kick. Bad recovery by the kick. Easy pass off to number 10. And that's a try for Toronto. So, the Hounds did have some responses to these things, though, Corey. They weren't completely done. They're like, we could also do cool stuff. Look at this. We're going to pass the ball around. And then, bam, pops it up.
Forward pass? I guess because he threw it backwards. It's all...
Where?
Looking on the outside.
Right. I think before that.
That's behind.
Got the ball.
So, but you see that last pass? So number 7 didn't catch that, but since the other number 7 tackled him as he was catching it and did give him a chance to properly catch it, I think he was a little bit offsides, but it was also ended up being a penalty try. So they basically gave the try to the other number 7 because, basically pass interference.
Pass interference. And mugged him while he was catching it.
Exactly.
You gotta let a gentleman catch the ball before you mug him. That's
for sure.
Chicago.
So that's the backwards pass.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's a backwards pass. It was just a long range, nice backwards pass. So kudos to the number 8 for Chicago making that opportunity happen there. Number 5 with the initial break. He's a big boy. I've already found my favorite player here in MLR. It's definitely Mr. McLean Jones, number 7 for the Chicago Hounds. Dude had like 3 tackles in a row, and then he just gets up and just chucks one of the arrows like out of bounds. Like the dude didn't have the ball; he was just standing near the ruck, and he just gets up and just throws the dude. Unfortunately, Corey, the referee saw that and immediately called a penalty on him, and then turned it into a yellow card. Absolute bullshit, if you ask me. It's just not right. My man McLean Jones he's just doing McLean stuff. He's cleaning the area, servicing the area. Corey, is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that fucking ref. Fuck that guy. I love being in the stands and being able to just yell at the ref with no repercussions because it's great. And it forms some great habits here for if I do end up getting elected as captain of the Ravens. But goddamn, dude, shit's hilarious. Like me and Will Durlage from the Ravens as well. We were both there and we were just ripping into this ref. The whole crowd was because in the second half, man, he was calling everything against us. The Hounds went into halftime like I think 20-10. Like, they had a good lead, man. We had the game, it was going really well. Second half comes around, just penalty after penalty after penalty. And granted, the Hounds didn't help themselves. Their forwards were knocking it on a lot of nonsense in general was going on. But the Arrows kept on stacking the kicks, and eventually, Corey, it led to this nonsense that we see here.
Some of his forwards around. See if he lines up for one.
More nonsense. And this was the very end of the game. So as you can see, Chicago was up by 2 points at that point. But then once again had more stupid turnovers, more penalties. Toronto ends up with the ball deep into Hounds territory. Quick drop goal to number 10, who was kicking well all day. Dude missed like 1 field goal, but other than that, like a shitload of those points from Toronto came from kicks. And he pretty much converted all his extra points. I know this because every time he was kicking, we all got up and were yelling at him to try to distract his ass. Dude did this shit. It was fucking very frustrating. Toronto Arrows found their first win of the year. Chicago Hounds
cold
still.
Is it there?
It was.
These guys are running around in.
It was cold. Let me tell you.
They're rocking booty shorts in fucking Chicago winter. Like,
oh man, this was the coldest game probably of the year so far.
I was Toronto and the elements.
I was in double hoodie and a jacket, and I was still pretty cold. And then it started like snowing / raining hardcore. So like, yeah, it got pretty brutal there pretty quickly. But yeah, shout out to McLean Jones. You didn't deserve that yellow card, sir. It's bullshit. That referee's an ass clown.
Refs, they fucking love me, man. Like, especially the refs in my league.
You've already mentioned this, Corey.
So the one tight end was definitely holding me. And so after the play, it doesn't get called, and I'm not going to like tell the ref, like, this guy's holding me, because like they're just going to tell me they didn't see it. So I just tell the dude, I'm like, nice holding. And he like starts talking mad shit to me. And I'm like, all right, I was pretty pissed off. So I'm like, I'm just going to fucking hit this guy, which I developed a very fancy technique of just like, instead of standing there looking confused, you just kind of crouch power and then just lunge at them with your shoulder. And I felt like it was definitely throwing off their routes because no tight ends caught any passes on my side. And then I would just, carry that momentum into whoever was back there, running back or, guard or whoever was going to hit me. But so on one, I chipped the tight end. The running back comes to pick up the block, and I just kind of grabbed him and threw him to the side. My man wipes out and gets up and hugs my leg. I'm trying to fight my way to the quarterback, and I'm dragging this dude behind me. So then the quarterback who's behind the quarterback, I look at him and I just kind of spread my arms you seeing this? And he's like, oh man, I didn't see it. And I'm like, but he's currently hugging my leg. He hasn't let go. And he's like, he goes already talks to one of the other refs. He's like, I didn't see it, but he was definitely hugging his leg. And the other ref's like, nah, fuck him. No one likes our team because generally we're kind of assholes. So nah, fuck them. They don't get shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever, that's fair. But then later on, whenever I'm on offense,
sounds like you picked a real winner for this last season, Corey. I'm so confused. These guys are an hour and a half from you. Sounds like they're assholes. They're terrible. They're not even the original team you joined. I'm just so confused how this happened to you in this last season.
Besides the point. What's fun is they don't really like me either, so it's great. I don't have to like them because they don't like me. It's great.
What?
But I think they're kind of picking up on my disdain for them, and it's mutual now, which is good. But so as I'm at tight end, I'm blocking this dude. I don't think it was holding. The guy tried to do a spin move, and I just shoved him because that's what you do when someone does a spin move on you. You shove them. So that same ref, as he's like walking up, he's like, holding. I'm not gonna call it though. Now we're even. And I'm like, really? That was holding? He's like, that was holding. And I was like, all right, fair enough. You know, like I'm not gonna talk shit about a ref not calling holding on me.
I'm just glad you have the refs on your side, Corey.
The refs
because the Chicago Hounds.
What the refs do.
In conclusion, the Chicago Hounds did not have the refs on our side, and they severely hurt the home team. We should have won this game. They put it, you can't put it all on the refs. Very end of the game, Chicago has the ball in the 80th minute, so it's last play of the game type shit. If Toronto gets it, they're probably just gonna kick it out of bounds, and that's the game. And you get a line out in fucking Toronto territory, and they throw it and it's not straight, and you turn it right over to Toronto. It's just but why, boys? Come on now. So yeah, the Hounds are still looking for their first win as an organization. Not nearly as embarrassing, Corey, as some teams who are still looking for their first win as an organization.
How far into this are they?
This is only their third game. Meanwhile, the Dallas Jackals, going into our second year. Multiple games at this point, Corey. Still no wins for the Jackals. And guess where they're traveling to next week? The Chicago Hounds, baby. Someone's gotta win, man! Someone's gotta get their goddamn first win of the season. And I am sad as fuck to be missing that game because the Ravens are doing some shit. We're doing some fundraiser stuff. We will be having a St. Patrick's Day event at the Lyron Club. If you are in Rockford and know of the Lyron Club, you should come by and enjoy some fucking pork beef. Is that what you fucking cook on St. Patrick's Day? I'm not a big corned beef guy, dude. Do you like corned beef?
Never had it, but I have heard of it, and I think it is a St. Patrick's Day thing.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of it, but anyway, they're making a bunch of it. People definitely will have alcohol, good times. So yeah, I cannot be attending that game. But if I had to guess, Corey, I think the Hounds are about to find their first win as an organization against the Dallas Jackals. And you know what? The Dallas Jackals only have themselves to blame because, you know what, dude?
They cut your boy Raheem.
I don't know if they cut him, but what is going on? All right, we're going to look up this right now. If he's not on their freaking roster, we're done, Jackals. Forever.
Jackals. You
Jackals.
Clowns. You
clowns.
Think you're cool just because you're from Dallas? You guys can't even handle your wild hogs down there.
Yeah. Wait, what?
You didn't know that?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Loads of wild hogs.
Oh, yeah, they just allow you to shoot these motherfuckers. Alright, but seriously,
There's just too many of them, man. And they're like an invasive species. They're like fucking up
About
everything,
billion,
eating all the rattlesnakes.
Alright, they don't fucking have anything even remotely similar to a fucking roster on this fucking website. Ah, Christ, Corey. What a fucking team.
I'm
But
gonna
anyway,
Google Dallas Jackals roster.
sorry, roster, yeah. And let me know if you see my boy Raheem. In the meantime, Corey, we have to talk about da-da-da-da-dun. There was a particular game between between the fucking Free Jackets and DC Glory. And it was just interesting because DC Glory has not played great up until now, just as an organization in general. But man, did they take it to the Free Jackets. This was a hell of a game. I think a lot of people were surprised by how much of a close game this was. But check this shit out. Well, bam! What was the sideline? Oh, wow, yeah, I'm by myself.
Why was he all by his lonesome?
Well, because, you know, it's a kind of close formation. You're trying to stop. It's like goal line formation. So you're trying to keep a lot of your boys close there so they can help with the tackles. It's usually a lot of big boy trying to smash up the middle type shit. So something like this can catch you off guard. Definitely bad. Shouldn't have happened. But, yeah, quite a good play for them.
So, Steve, take a look at this here roster. I'm not sure this is correct because half of these guys are from Argentina. Like
this is the 2022. This is the 2022. It looks like just off that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we will open this in browser as it's fine. Let's do it. Oh, cool! It's a cool little logo. It doesn't actually show the anything. That's
you got to click on the link above it. You clicked on. Yeah.
All right. No. Let me out.
I don't see anyone named Raheem in here, but like half these dudes are from Argentina. It's very confusing.
It's not too confusing. I mean, they're describing whatever good players they can. But no, you're right.
Do they just like do these guys have work visas here, or are these like American Argentinians?
It's a shitload of props. Yeah, no, these are definitely I have work visa. I'm not really sure how it works, but it's not too surprising. Think about soccer; they always have people from other countries coming in and playing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, no,
Raheem. I guess, like in Argentina, they actually play rugby, whereas I guess in the States, they there's like maybe some college semi-pro, like what you were doing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. It looks like they're fucking idiots, and they don't have Raheem Powell on their team anymore. I don't even know. I got to ask Raheem what's going on with that. But shame on them. Disrespectful.
Shame!
Shame! It's why you don't have a victor as an organization, and the Hounds are going to destroy you. It's going to be great. But anyway, Corey, good teams do good stuff. And I think this is a good example of that. Look at this number 12. What a fucking line. That's how you take a line, Corey. And then beautiful pop-up to his boy. That's a score. That's a try for sure. But yeah, it was basically New England did more of that. DC actually had a beautiful maul from like the 20 meter. They brought it all the way in. This game was close all the way down to the very end. Final score was 31-34. New Jackets just did enough. They just kept pounding, and got a late try, hung on for the win. Good for them against competitive DC Glory, like I'm saying, for this game, and I think that surprised a lot of people, but not as surprising as this game, Corey. NOLA Gold comes into this game as a home team, but definitely the underdog against the defending MLR champions, and generally fucking good-ass team in New York. And, dude, they just took it to them right off the bat. Their number 10 played an amazing game, had multiple breakthroughs, had a steal like on a bobble pass for New York. But the one that really sealed the deal for them, I think, was this sequence of play.
Moving it across, keeping it in the center.
So I think what really drove it home was this sequence of play. And it all starts off here, Corey. Hold on. It starts off with this beautiful tackle. Watch this tackle. Well, bam! And that's just a drive-back tackle and then beautiful counter-ruck by his friends. Now that's NOLA Gold ball. And then just quickly gets the balls out. New York still hasn't adjusted quickly enough. Uh-oh. We're on the counterattack. This is fucking 15's faster than your guy. NOLA Gold's going to fucking have a huge upset, Core.
Yeah,
this is a
momentum right there.
Bro, 34-8. They took it. No, I'm sorry. That's the wrong score. 31-5. They took it to New York. Like I said, MLR defending champions. were absolutely favored to win this game. And Noah Gold just absolutely takes it to them at home. They haven't played like this really all year. I mean, they're coming off, I think last week they just lost. Yeah, they just lost to Rugby Atlanta last week. So this was definitely the shocker of the week for sure. The Seattle Seawolves remain undefeated.
Wasn't this the final last year, though? Nola Gold and New York?
No, it was Seattle and New York.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I remember Nola being up there, though. Were they the guys that your dude stole a bunch of money?
Nope. No, that was the LA Guillotines, who are no longer around.
Poor Guillotines.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good, but now they're gone. Anyway, the Seattle Seawolves core remain undefeated, and they beat the SaberCats. SaberCats were in this game at certain points. Their wing had a couple plays where he kicked it and tried to beat the guy to the inside to the try zone, but just couldn't quite beat him, and that reflected the game because they just could not quite get over the hump. Seattle hangs on to win. Their number 8 is like a timeless wonder with his beautiful beard. The guy just always seems to break the line. If he's not scoring himself, he's setting up other people to score, but the dude also scores a shitload. I think he's like the all-time leading scorer in MLR or some shit right now. San Diego Legion, 22-0 over the Jackals. As I mentioned, the Jackals are mismanaged. They don't have Raheem Powell on their team anymore, and shame on them. We've already talked enough about the Hounds. I did get a cool hoodie from them. As I mentioned, the Jackets find a way to win against DC Glory. And that is pretty much the wrap-up of Week 4 here in the MLR, Corey. Before we move on to Six Nations, which was yet more beautiful rugby that took place, did you have any non-sponsor sponsors for us today? If not, I have one.
For sure. It's currently in my bag, and I don't want to go all the way over there to fight it out.
Right.
It's a reoccurring non-sponsored sponsor, which is Tiger Bomb. This stuff is the only reason I was able to play both ways yesterday, and the only thing currently keeping me on the field is Tiger Bomb. It is
Let's go.
Like Kofal on crack. It is fantastic at just warming up your muscles and keeping you in the game. My wrist was super sore. I rubbed on my wrist. It was fine. My shoulder has been fucked since two weeks before the season. I just chalked that bitch up with some Tiger Bomb. Don't feel it the whole game. My knees, anytime I do leg day, I put it on my knees. I put it on my knees before the game. Definitely helps me out. My groin was acting up. Fucking reached down my pants, rubbed some Tiger Bomb all over that business at halftime. Didn't feel it for the rest of the game. It really is a miracle worker for any of your pulls, strains, and or internal injuries. Just
can you rub it on a bad relationship? Would it fix that? Can you rub it on a lazy coworker that's also affecting your work? Can you rub it on a bad teammate and have him play better?
If your teammate was bad because he was hurt, then yes, he would play better. Okay. If you were to rub it on a bad relationship, you can do that. It would probably actually help you because they would be so pissed off that you're just attacking them with this weird cream that they would, that'd be the end of the relationship, and then you would get out of that toxic relationship. Right. If you rubbed it on a coworker, you would probably have to have a conversation with HR. Right. Then maybe you could tell them, like, hey, this guy, he's fucking with my work. And they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry that that's happening. And, well, it's 50-50. Either you'll get fired because you're like, hey, you can't be rubbing strange creams on people. Or they'll be like, we're sorry that's happening.
And here's the counter just to shake it up. What if you just went directly to HR without rubbing the stuff on them, first?
Well, I'm just answering your question, Steven.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's get into some Six Nations. Okay, Corey, this is ridiculous. We can't continue this.
Tiger Bomb, man. It fucking keeps aging athletes on the field.
Take the Tiger Bomb. Goddamn right. But anyway, round 4 of Six Nations also took place. It's just round 4 all around here, Corey. What a beautiful time. But Italy and Wales kicked this whole thing off early in the morning. A lot of people thought this game was going to be close as hell, and I think, Corey, Wales took offense to that. They've been nothing but frustrated over quite a long period, even leading up to the Six Nations. They've just been kind of getting smacked around internationally. So this was nice for them to bounce back and find a win. They really kind of had this game well in control most of the time. Italy kind of made it closer at certain points. So I think it was like 10-22, and then Wales was like, "Here, have another try," and put it out of reach. So kudos to them. I mean, I don't know if people were shocked by this game, but it certainly was a fucking beatdown, dude. England and France, I came in towards the second half of this game. It was still close, and England gets a try, I think, to take it to 10-17. Now, because, of course, France started off fast. They were up early on England, but it still wasn't completely out of reach. As I mentioned, England gets that try. They're sort of in the game. But that, dude, France just suddenly starts the attack, and it just doesn't end. It's just relentless. And England had no answers. There was multiple kicks. Marcus Smith bailed them out multiple times back there, but not enough from the English Packs, dude. Not enough from anyone on the English team, and they got just absolutely mauled by a very vicious French team. The Irish took on Scotland that following Sunday. This game was close as hell in the very beginning. In the first half, Scotland actually took the lead with the first try, but freaking the number 14 from Ireland, I forget his name now, had a fucking game, Corey. This guy chases down a kick, and just fucking beautifully secures it, pops it off to his friends, who eventually score, and was a huge momentum changer in that second half. But the first half, like I said, Scotland was leading. They were going into halftime. It was like 7-8, and they had that opportunity to score right before half, and kind of just bobbled it and lost possession of the ball in Irish territory, like within the 5. So that was kind of a bummer for them. But dude, they had it. It was very close in that first half. But I think the commentators said it best. The Irish survived the Scottish onslaught. Just wasn't quite enough to get past a very good Irish team, Corey. We're seeing a super, super good Irish team right now. It's going to be interesting what they can do against the Southern Hemisphere teams. But right now, they're taking care of business against these Northern Hemisphere teams, the best of the best right now in Six Nations. Looking like they're going to take a clean slate and win this year's Six Nations, huh?
You love to see it.
What do you have to say about all these Six Nation businesses and these people playing the rugbies? Do you think, it's almost wrapped now with that Scotland-England game kind of set. You still got Ireland-England, but, I don't think anyone thinks England's got anything left in the tank to take on a fucking skilled Irish team right now.
So, Dan was saying that England was preparing to win the Rugby World Cup, and then they fired their coach, and now they're getting wrecked. So I guess if they can't even win this, they're not winning the World Cup.
That is correct, and I'm actually funny that Dan knows that. Yeah, but no, that's correct. You mean talking about Dan from the podcast, right? Dan the Man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dan the Man. He actually reached out to us and let us know that the Battlehawks had sold out their stadium, Corey.
I saw that. Yeah, their first home game.
We're about to get to that because we might as well wrap up the Six Nations. There is yet more of it next weekend. St. Patrick's Day weekend is the last weekend of Six Nations. Like I said, we'll have some good games. It's basically taking place all day.
So when is the draft? The draft hasn't happened yet, right?
Draft has not happened yet. It is in April, usually the 20th, somewhere around that range.
Is there there was so many fucking signings today. I was gonna read some of these off.
You want to go to that, and then we'll go to XFL?
Either one. Yeah.
Let's do the NFL real quick. So go ahead.
So first notable one, I'm just gonna go to the quarterbacks because there's obviously a bunch of dudes, but your boy Jarrett Stidham, which had kind of took over for the Raiders towards the end of the year there. Just signed with the Broncos, 2 years, $10 million. Not a crazy contract. Looks like he's the backup plan if Russell Wilson sucks again. Interesting, the Raiders got rid of both of their quarterbacks, bold strategy, but they did that because they signed Jimmy Garoppolo. So,
they ended up with Jimmy Garoppolo? Wow.
Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders, not the most durable dude. You just got rid of your serviceable backup. Real bold strategy, but you do you. Magic Mike White, you hate to see him leave New York.
Where's he going?
He's off to the Dolphins.
The Bucs should have taken a chance on him.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude,
I'm excited for Mr. White, alright?
Dude, Magic Mike is gonna do some shit.
Shout out to Mike White. We are rooting for you over here on Sports by Coffee, Mike White.
We're in your corner.
We believe in you, Mike White. Get it
we
done.
want to see Mike White succeed.
Mike White!
Mike White!
Why do we believe in him so much? I don't know. But we're bought in, dude.
He's just a cool guy. You
Well,
know,
right.
4 touchdowns and like 450 yards. Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And then, like, does it again.
Healthy.
And then he
He's very injury prone.
And sometimes he plays terrible, too. We'd love to see it.
Did he play terrible? I thought
he's had a couple of really bad games, for sure.
Has he?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Whatever. In other news, Brock Purdy, he's, I heard he's undergoing some surgery. He's out for, like, a couple weeks, but I think
but he finally got the surgery done. Like, I don't know what was going on. Like, he was like not getting it done for a while. Like, like sometimes like these injuries happen, and like you hear about like the Monday after the game, like, all right, so he got the surgery done. It's like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's crazy, but it makes sense. Get that recovery as soon as possible. So I don't know what the fuck was going on with this one, but
I think it's because there was 2 options. Like he could have gone he could have done what's the name? That's Good Sports. He covered this, but I was of course playing Guild Wars at the time, so I only like half listened.
I was doing math also.
It's what?
And you were doing math also?
Always.
Right.
But so he could have undergone Tommy bone surgery, I believe it's called, or something like that. And that would have put him out for like 2 years. But then he went with some other surgery that only puts him out for like a couple months. So I think he's going to be back like a couple weeks into the season. Which, you know, we'll see how that goes for him.
All right.
Other notable signings, your boy Sam Darnold going to San Francisco. So it looks like he's going to be the Trey Lance backup. Brock Purdy's getting healthy.
Another guy who probably has a couple more opportunities. Like, you know, like you don't be a first-round draft pick, have a couple decent games, and not continue to get opportunities. So I will continue to see Sam get some opportunities. Who knows? Maybe this would be the final stop for him.
You gotta think so, because he sucked over in Carolina. He sucked over with the Jets.
He had games with Carolina. Like he mostly sucked, but he did have games.
But you gotta imagine he lost the team in training camp because they were putting in PJ Walker over him for some weeks.
And like Baker Mayfield was like running through there, like, whoa, I'm here too.
Right. That was a crazy situation over there, man.
It was wild, dude.
I don't know what any of that was about.
Nobody does. Nobody knows what was going on, and that's why Matt Rule got fired. They were like, Matt, you gotta go. We don't know what's happening here. you gotta get out of it.
We don't like it. But Carolina's got the first overall pick now.
Yeah, dude.
Did you hear about that?
Well, bro, they sold the fucking farm to move up like 7 spots. It's ridiculous. I've talked to Bear fans who are very happy with this trade.
I mean, if this dude Bryce Young is the guy, which maybe.
Oh, but did you hear what they get? Did you hear what they gave up?
So it's a 9. It's a ninth round or ninth pick, 61st pick, and then in 2024 first round pick, and 2025 second round pick, and then DJ Moore.
Exactly.
So the Bears could, in theory, like just make a team, which is what they need.
So that's
what
5.
Do you guys need? Everything.
That should be 5 good players for the price of maybe Bryce Young. And if you have Justin Fields on our center, like if you're a Bears fan, you're like, fucking holy shit, this is great. And they traded down 7 spots. Like wait, what? That's not bad.
So Carolina's talking about they're talking about shopping the first round pick. They're like, hey, if anyone wants his first round pick and is gonna give us 3 first round picks, I will take it.
Maybe the general manager is like, oh man, that was kind of crazy. Maybe I can get out of this.
I was like, wait, did I mean to do that? What did I sign?
Like, well, I said it didn't accept. Like, shit.
Right. Also going to the Dolphins, though, Jalen Ramsey, non-quarterback. So I have the NFL page open, and all day I've just been seeing picks. I can just run through all of them. But Jalen Ramsey going
let me pull them up
Dolphins.
too. Are you looking transactions? That's gotta be it, right?
I was just looking at their Instagram. Their Instagram has cute little readable thing.
Wow.
Commanders extend Deron Penne. So he's staying there. The Falcons got Judon Smith. Falcons are keeping Chris Lindstorm. Lindstorm, what a name.
You're a
Ravens
name.
release Calais Campbell. Bold strategy, Cotton. Jason Kelsey is returning in 2023. You got to imagine that he's staying with the Eagles, though.
Jason Kelsey?
Yeah. There's no way he's leaving the Eagles. Like, he's been there his whole career, right?
I mean, I wouldn't rule anything out, but no, I wouldn't think so.
Like,
Unless he gets over to the Chiefs, plays his baby brother, they go for a Super Bowl run.
True, but no, they have that dude Creed Humphrey. They don't need a center.
Creed Humphrey?
Isn't that their center? I'm pretty sure he was a rookie like last year, and then this year he just went off and was like a guy.
That sounds fine, but you can always move him around.
True. I imagine he's staying there. I think he believes in Jalen Hurts, and that's why he's coming back. That's my read on the situation, but I could be wrong.
I'm just creating this crazy-ass fantasy situation, but yeah, you're probably right. That would make sense to me, too.
49ers are signing Javon Hargraves. Looks like he's some sort of a lineman from the Eagles. Do you know who this is?
Who? Hargraves?
Javon Hargraves.
I wish I could see these transactions. It's so stupid. There's no way they don't have them on their fucking website. That's crazy.
Oh, it says. Oh, okay, wait. He is. No, doesn't say his position. That's annoying.
All right.
There's an offensive tackle from the 49ers going to the Broncos. Mike Maglinski. I feel like I'm just mispronouncing names now.
Yeah, fuck this. We're all set on this.
Enough words.
Yeah, let's move on. Anyway, so yeah, the NFL has some fucking free agency stuff going on. I will find out how to fucking cover this a little bit better. Are you seeing this, Joe? See, like, I don't understand how to say no transactions. That makes no sense. You just told me a whole bunch of signings that happened. And if I do signings, there's like this handful of signings here, which are like basically Derek Carr. It's like, why are you
Derek Carr to the Saints? But yeah, that's why are they just now announcing that today? That happened forever ago.
And that's like the only news that's here. There's like
that was like last week.
There's two here that are like data for today, and Derek Carr's not even today. So I don't know what I'm looking at here or why the Dark Lord's acting like this, but we're moving on, Corey. We can't be part of it. So the XFL started off with the Houston Roughnecks and the Orlando Guardians. Now, Corey, this game may surprise you how it started off, but the Roughnecks started roughing up the Guardians. They were up 21-0 in the first quarter. And this was just a combination of some decent offense on their part, and the Guardians just bobbling balls and fucking just being the worst team in the XFL, in my estimation. They looked terrible. Although suddenly in the second quarter they showed some signs of life, and like Paxton Lynch bombs a receiver that just like got past the safety falls. Dude is just all by himself, catches the ball for a touchdown. They had another deep pass too, so like some fight, especially out of Paxton Lynch, who I believe I've talked about it on the show. I've had other guests on who are also surprised by the fact that Paxton Lynch is still getting paid money to throw a football, Corey. But this is, I guess, why. You know, he has games like this suddenly where he throws like 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, he's not the main reason they lost the game, I guess you could say. You know? So he did some stuff. But they are still winless, and I think will remain that way for a while. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. They're going to play the Vipers.
That's what they get for leaving New York. We didn't even want you stupid Orlando team.
Orlandians.
You Orlandians.
Brandon Silvers is still looking really good. You know, threw a bunch more touchdown passes today. This Roughnecks team remains undefeated, Core. They are now 4-0 and rolling into week 5. Looking scary. I don't think anyone really wants to play the Roughnecks right now. They'll probably rough you up. San Antonio continues their skid. This was not pretty game out of the Seattle Sea Dragons by any means. Mr. Zanucci! Zanucci!
Football and the Seattle Sea Dragons.
Typical game out of Ben DiNucci. Through a couple very good passes, you saw some beautiful touch passes out of him, but then just stupid shit and just dumb stuff, and wasn't converting on third down as a result of this dumb and stupid stuff, Corey. And so therefore, they couldn't quite get their run game going either. It didn't look like. They won this game because of their defense. The defense was just all over the Bahamas. They could not get anything going offensively. Coed struggled once again. Starting to look like a terrible quarterback out there. This team looks like they're barely better than some of these other terrible XFL teams. But there's a lot of nibbling going on, Core. Seattle Sea Dragons, as I predicted, have found their way back into the playoff contention. I think they're going to be good. They actually have, this might surprise you, who do you think is the lead receiver in the XFL right now as far as yards? It is not Josh Gordon, as you may have suspected. It is, in fact, this dude here. Fucking Marcus. No, hold on, that's receiving. I think it's Pearson. Yeah, it's definitely Pearson. It's Jacor Pearson. Dude is leading the XFL in receptions and yards, I think. And yeah, 76 tonight, 8 receptions. He is what moved the Seattle Dragons offense.
Is he like a returner too?
He's a fast little dude.
Because like what was interesting to me is you get a guy like what's his name? The returner for the Cowboys that just made the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I forgot his name too.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, we all know who we're talking about, even the fans do. So if you don't,
I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, Google it real quick. But yeah, so Seattle Sea Dragons, after a rough start to the season, are back in at 2-2. Their defense absolutely bailed them out. Turpin, right?
Yeah. So, sorry to go back, but Devontae Turpin, he's the league MVP. He's the number 1 receiver. He's also the returner, so he kicks ass. He makes it to the NFL, kicks ass as a returner, makes the Pro Bowl. But then when they put him in at receiver, a little lackluster. And, that's the best the league has to offer. He was a standout in the league, got MVP. So do you think this dude, what was his name? Jacor Pearson?
Yeah. Yeah, good memory.
So he's probably going to make a roster next season. I'd have to imagine so. Somebody's going to take a shot at him.
I think so.
Do you think he'll be like an actual roster player, or do you think he's going to be just kind of there?
I think he'll be a roster player. I mean, I think he's leading the league in receptions and yards right now. There's plenty of space for small little receivers in the NFL. There's guys like Scotty Miller earning a paycheck out there in the world, dude. So, I could see this guy getting an opportunity. No offense, Mr. Miller. Just your career hasn't exactly gone the way either of us would have liked, sir. So, anyway.
So, wait, who's the quarterback in Tampa right now?
We're on the Kyle Trask train, sir. Well, that is what Sports by that's what I'm rolling with. That's what Sports by Compian is rolling with, man.
You got to draft a backup, though, right?
I say
backup at this point.
I'm not even worried about drafting a backup as much as I'd say just sign a veteran in case some shit gets crazy. I wouldn't have mind signing Stidham or one of these other young guys who had some upside, like Rush or some shit, and just let's go for it, man. If Trask looks like shit out there, put Rush in there. If he sucks, go back to Trask, and then hopefully the season's over.
Rush is a free agent.
Either way, what I'm saying is let's roll with the Trask train. If it sucks, whatever. At least we know. But we invested a second round draft pick in this kid. Might as well give him a chance now that we need something. So.
Matt Ryan retired, right?
Did he?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's retired yet, but I don't think the Colts are taking him back. He got benched by the Colts. I think he got hurt last season.
He had a rough year. He hasn't said anything. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him, but we should be knowing in the next
couple
days. We're gonna know a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Carson Wentz is still out there.
Man, Carson Wentz, holy shit.
Mariota is still out there.
Yeah, I don't want that. I think Winston's going to be on the market soon enough.
No, he got released.
Oh, did he?
Oh, Winston. Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
said Ed Wentz. Carson
And
Wentz.
then there's Baker Mayfield. Should still be out there, I think. Or he's out with the Rams now.
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, that's true.
I think
he's in
Baker's
the
still
same
out
boat
there.
as Rush, where it's like they had their contracts up, and they're probably negotiating.
I think a lot of triggers are going to get pulled after the draft. You know, teams are still holding
Right.
on to see if they could get a quarterback, and we'll see how that goes.
Which, like, the Cowboys, I think we did the right thing. We franchise tagged Pollard because, God forbid, we lose fucking Pollard. He was like 80% of our offense last season.
Yeah.
And we just got to draft some receivers. Maybe we'll grab this dude, whatever, what was it?
Ja'Cory Pearson, right?
Ja'Cory Pearson. Yeah.
That's
Maybe
what we're
we'll
gonna
take
say.
him, you know?
Sorry
it
for
worked out
mispronouncing your name,
Let's
bro.
take Pearson
It's not personal. But as we mentioned, the Seattle St. Louis fucking Battlehawks. Goddamn, sorry. Fucking sold out their stadium, dude. That's fucking crazy. Like I think that's the old Rams stadium. So if I'm not misunderstanding that, like if they opened up the entire stadium, that shit sold out. Like that's huge. That's some huge support out of Seattle. I mean St. Louis.
Well, that's just St. Louis being like, hey, we were for
We're
sure
pissed.
serious about having a team here, and we're mad.
We're kind of mad. It's kind of a fuck you to the NFL. Well, I mean, it's not, but I guess I want to interpret it. It's not. Pretty fucking cool, man. Good for them. That's huge. That's going to be a big old, like the commentator said at the end of the game. Man, if it ends up playoffs here in St. Louis, it's going to be hard for anyone coming in here to get a win. Like that's
sold out, Steven, at 38,310 seats.
Wow.
That doesn't sound like a lot.
It doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like the whole stadium.
That's sold out, though. Attendance record. It's official football is back in St. Louis in a big way. Thank you, fans. This is the XFL official site.
Well, we can ask Dan when he comes on next week. But either way, this was huge for the Battlehawks, and they delivered for their home crowd. Arlington was close at certain points in this game, but the Battlehawks hung in there and did the right things. Played their brand of offense. Dude, who was it? Oh, that was the other game. Fucking yeah, that was the Roughnecks. Had this running back Lee was just running people over. But AJ McCarron was another solid game. You know, didn't do tons, but didn't hurt his team either. You know, big win for him. Their offense is doing the right things. You know, their defense plays good enough to keep them in games. Renegades really struggled in this one. Tons of turnovers, tons of interceptions. Their quarterback could not get comfortable. Kyle Stroder, fucking 3 interceptions. Rough day for him. One of them, dude, he's just trying to throw like a little screen pass or even just throw it away, it looked like. And the fucking safety's just like, give me that shit. It's just ridiculous, man. Rough day for Mr. Stroder. And yeah, he looked really cool with his visor, though. So there was that for him, at least.
Oh, okay, these are rushing yards. That makes sense.
That's all we got to say about that. Shout out to the Battlehawks selling out, man. Good for them. I caught the end of this game, actually. DC Defenders and the Vipers.
The Defenders have their beer snake back.
When I saw the end of this, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. The fucking, not only they have it back, but like the commentator lady went and got involved in it. Oh, I saw something hilarious. I think it was Joey Galloway. It's just like going into the booth to ask this dude like some questions, and it was like I don't know if it was the coach or the offensive coordinator, and it's like this old white dude, and he's just like, "What? No, I'm in the middle of calling something. I'm in the middle of working," and like the commentator's just like, no fucks given. It's like, yeah, I get that, but anyway, no, seriously, about this thing, and like Hershey's asked him his questions. And just fucking plowed through the interview. The dude just like gave him short answers and like they both moved on with their day. But shit was hilarious, bro. Like this old man was like, "What? I was in the middle of calling this game. Like, why am I doing this interview right now?" And just was bullied into it by the commentator.
That's crazy, dude.
Wild.
It's so funny how they just like come at people that are just like, nope, we're just gonna ask you these hard-hitting questions like on the sideline interviews. I appreciate sideline interviews; they're pretty funny because like
they are. Some of these players get animated. I kind of like it.
Yeah, because like I'm sure you've experienced this where like you're on the sideline and you're just like trying to catch your breath and like your teammate comes up to like tell you the like what they did on that play and like they're what they did was totally like a nothing burger, but you have to like pretend like you care so you don't hurt their feelings. You're like, that's crazy, man. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I feel like if an interview went up and asked them like, hey, what did you see on that play? Then like these guys are gonna love to tell you exactly what they did on that
100%.
play, you know?
Well, some of the players are loving it. It's just that particular instance. This DC guy was like, "What are we doing, bro? What?" And like, they even addressed it on the telecast, and they're like, "He's like, yeah, he wasn't happy about that, right?" He's like, "Yeah, you know, coach was like, I'm working right now," and I was like, "Yeah, so am I, coach." I was like, "Yeah, fair enough." Like, pretty good fucking answer. But anyway, the DC defenders held on in this game. You know, at one point, I looked at the Vipers might get back into it. I think it was like 10-17, 10-19, something like that. Vipers couldn't stop them. The DC rolled all the way down the field, running plays, quick passes, and scored. Vipers get the ball back, throw some interceptions. All year round, man, my man Perez, just tons of interceptions out of him. Like, really rough time. He can't be happy with the way his season's gone. Well, it was only one interception. I'm sorry, Perez. Actually, he had a pretty good game, 283 yards. Shows what I fucking know. But what I'm trying to say, man, is that this Vipers team just hasn't clicked, Core. Their offense hasn't clicked. They can't seem to get things going. They can't stop teams when they need to. And that is why they're 0-4. I do think they're better than the Guardians. We're probably going to find out soon enough. The Defenders are 4-0 as well. Do I think they're better than the Roughnecks, though, Corey? I don't.
The Defenders?
I don't know. I guess we got to get Dan the Man on here because Dan the Man would know best. He has seen them live. He's also tuned into this league.
Being in Vegas is just a tough place to be whenever you're getting paid I mean, not like these guys are getting paid pennies, but getting paid as little as these guys are getting paid. Like, you know, they're young men making money living in Vegas. You got to imagine they're missing a practice here and there.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, yeah. I guess if you're at this level, you're really trying to.
You're not missing practice. Nobody's missing practice at this level. But I mean, maybe their focus could be a little skewed. Could be. I don't think it's. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's literally when they started this year. I think when they reshuffled all the teams, they redrafted. Whatever was available was a complete top of the line draft. And dude, like, that's kind of throwing it up in the air. You know what I mean? Like,
you have no idea how.
You have no idea how the fuck your team is gonna shake out.
It comes down to the coaching.
How did he play last year? How is this quarterback going to be good? Is he not going to be good? I'm sure everyone was scrambling for the quarterbacks early. Like, if you didn't get one, like, you're fucked. Just like in the NFL. Kind of weird.
But what I mean is, like, you see guys fuck up playing for the Raiders, even in the NFL. You know. Because these are like young.
Well, they just got to Vegas,
right? And you've already seen guys fuck up in that short period of time.
Man, people fuck up all over the NFL though. They're pretty young, but I do see what you're saying. I'm sure it's way more temptation being in Las Vegas as a young player, tons of money in your bank. I'm sure it's not easy to stay focused on the goals.
Dude, it's like you might understand this reference. It's like being a young player in Hawko versus being a young player in like San Jose.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I'm sure.
When there's a party 24/7 everywhere.
Reckless for sure.
I'm not saying that's why they're 0-4. I'm just saying maybe.
Well, either way, I think it's week 6 we're finally gonna get them playing the. No, it's gonna be a while before we finally see Guardians Vipers.
The Maulers didn't come back, did they?
I guess not. I don't even know who the Maulers are, so they must not be a team. Corey, so. Week 5, we got Roughnecks, Seattle Dragons. That's going to be interesting. Dragons are they're going to have to play a lot better than they played last week, and they're going to have a chance to beat Houston, who I think looks like the best team in the XFL right now. Defenders are going to play the Battlehawks, but it is at home for the Battlehawks, so that should be an advantage. They have a huge test with the Defenders coming in. Should be a good game, and I'm sorry, we are going to see that game. So it's going to be the Guardians and the Vipers. It is in Vegas. I already think the Vipers are the better team anyway. I think that's going to go the Vipers' way. And then we have the Renegades and the Brahmas. I think the Renegades are going to take that game on the road. Your boy Stroder is going to get his ass figured out and play some better football. I think the DC Defenders will lose on the road to the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks will hand the Defenders their first loss of the season and stay undefeated at home. And yeah, no, I don't think there's too much surprise here. I'm taking the Roughnecks on the road against Seattle. The Sea Dragons. I love what I'm seeing out of the Sea Dragons offensively. I love Benvenucci. But I just don't see the consistency from Benvenucci. He's a little too crazy. He needs to be more consistent. If he was more consistent, he'd probably be in the NFL. But either way, he has a big test. They are at home. They got a good chance. But the fucking Silvers and the Roughnecks are playing fucking well. So we'll see what happens. Should be a good week 5 of XFL football, Corey. Well, we've covered some important topics here today. And, did you have anything you wanted to say about Major League Rugby, XFL, Six Nations, NFL, or life in general?
No, not really. Just mostly, keep ever forward onto bigger and better things.
Absolutely, dude. And sometimes life throws a lot of obstacles at you. And what I recommend is that I'm going to crush you and throw you into the wind. That's what you should do to your fucking obstacles that come up into your life. Sports by Compian. Out.